The Vietnam War, a conflict that tore at the very fabric of American society, was fueled in no small part by the draft. The draft system, which randomly selected young men to serve in the military, became a symbol of the era's turmoil and division. The draft, a system of mandatory military service, became a lightning rod for controversy. Many young men and their families were vehemently opposed to being forced into a war they did not support or understand. It forced young men to fight in a war many did not believe in. These reluctant soldiers often found themselves in a foreign land, facing unimaginable horrors and questioning the purpose of their sacrifice. The war's escalation led to an increased demand for soldiers, further igniting the flames of discontent. As more troops were sent overseas, the public's frustration and anger grew, leading to widespread protests and civil unrest. As the conflict escalated, so too did the number of draft resistors, deepening the divides within American society. The resistance movement saw young men burning their draft cards, refusing to serve, and taking to the streets in protest, symbolizing a generation's defiance and desire for change. Draft dodgers, a diverse group with complex motivations, employed various tactics to avoid military service. These individuals came from all walks of life, each with their own reasons for resisting the draft. Some were driven by political beliefs, while others were motivated by personal or ethical considerations. Some sought conscientious objector status, citing moral or religious objections to war. They often faced rigorous scrutiny and had to prove their convictions were genuine, enduring lengthy interviews and sometimes even legal battles. Others fled to Canada or other countries, seeking refuge from conscription. This journey was fraught with uncertainty and risk, as they left behind their homes, families, and everything familiar to start anew in a foreign land. Medical deferments were sought, sometimes through legitimate means, other times through fabricated ailments. These deferments required navigating a complex system of medical evaluations, often involving both physical and psychological assessments. The act of draft dodging, regardless of the method, became a symbol of the growing anti-war sentiment. It reflected a broader societal divide, as the nation grappled with the moral and ethical implications of the conflict. The Vietnam War era witnessed an unprecedented wave of protests across the United States. College campuses became hotbeds of activism, with students organizing teach-ins, marches, and demonstrations. Iconic figures like Muhammad Ali and Jane Fonda emerged as vocal critics of the war, using their platforms to amplify the anti-war message. The escalating protests reflected a deep-seated disillusionment with the government and its handling of the war. Section 4. The price of dissent, consequences, and clemency. Draft dodgers faced serious consequences, both legal and social. Prison sentences awaited those who refused to be drafted or deserted their posts. The stigma of draft dodging could follow individuals for years, impacting their careers and personal lives. The government's response to draft resistors was often harsh, reflecting the political climate of the time. Section 5. The enduring legacy, a nation scarred, yet forever changed. The Vietnam War, a conflict that spanned nearly 2 decades, left an indelible mark on the American psyche and landscape. The Vietnam War and the draft-dodging phenomenon left an indelible mark on American society. Young men burning their draft cards became a powerful symbol of resistance and defiance against a war many believed was unjust. The war divided the nation, creating rifts that took years to heal. Families, friends, and communities found themselves on opposite sides of a deeply contentious issue, leading to a period of intense social upheaval. The anti-war movement, fueled by draft resistance, led to a questioning of authority and a demand for greater transparency from the government. This era saw the rise of a more vocal and active citizenry, challenging the status quo and advocating for peace and justice. The legacy of the Vietnam War serves as a reminder of the human cost of war and the importance of dissent in a democratic society. Today, memorials and commemorations honor those who served and those who protested, ensuring that the lessons of this tumultuous time are not forgotten.